Arsenal 3, Chelsea 1. The Arsenal fans, I love it. Shamelessly, at the end of the game, we're singing, "We are top of the league." So, listen, man, if your team is top of the league, hit the like button on this video, because all we can do now is back the boys right till the very end, and all the boys can do is just go and get the 3 points and smash teams like Chelsea, these mid-table relegation battling teams. All we can go and do is try and smash them. This is what we needed in this game when we go and face Newcastle and a very, very good defence next time out in the Premier League. So do you know what? It's mixed feelings for me. This was such a brilliant, brilliant performance, but it's almost like the first half and the second half were almost like the story of our season this season. First half of the Premier League was the first half of this game was like the vast majority of our Premier League season, and the second half was the 4 games prior to this. Thank God we didn't go 5 games without a win, because no matter what's happening in the league, I hate these lot. I hate Chelsea, this small club with no history, whose biggest legend is a fraudulent billionaire, not a player. You know, I've got no time for Chelsea, despise them, and you all know that if you've been watching me for years. So irrespective of what we're doing or not doing in the league or in any competition, I want to beat these lot. And we did. Only frustration of mine is that after having such a brilliant first half, we didn't really twist the knife. I wanted us to, you know, take advantage and batter them. But as soon as it got to 3-1, at that point, I kind of feel like I saw that Arsenal have spoken about how to maintain leads. And when it went to 3-1, and we were 2 goals up, I felt like we just shut up shop. And actually, do you know what? It threw us off our natural game. And the one thing that I get not being too attacking, but the one thing that we didn't do was keep up our physicality. And I felt like that's why Chelsea got into the game. At times, I was watching it in the last sort of 10 minutes thinking, if Chelsea do get it to 3-2, it's going to be awful. It's going to be so nerve-wracking. Thankfully, though, we avoided any of that nonsense, and we saw the game out. And this goes down as a comprehensive victory against Chelsea. And it was that. Overall, it absolutely was that. You know what? Let's speak about some of the key players in the game. Nowhere to start other than Granit Xhaka. Odegaard obviously will have to get a special mention. But Granit Xhaka today, hat-trick of assists and no yellow cards. Who is this guy, man? I don't even recognise Granit Xhaka. And the amazing thing is, right, if this performance from Granit Xhaka was at the start of the Xhaka Renaissance, every Arsenal fan will be leaving the ground talking about Granit Xhaka today, saying, "Oh, amazing." But the reality is, a lot of us will leave the ground today, a lot of Arsenal fans will watch this game, and they won't be amazed by Granit Xhaka's performance. That in itself is the amazing, amazing thing. Granit Xhaka was brilliant today, and we've kind of come to expect it of him a little bit. We're sort of used to seeing him do really, really well. To not have silly moments in games, to get into really clever positions further up the pitch and to make those positions count. That is the biggest compliment to Granit Xhaka that I can possibly give him. You've come so far that we're not even surprised when you put in stellar performances like this. And do you know what? I'm really happy for him. It's a tough one, because when I look at the team, when I think, what can we do to improve it next year? That's actually an area that I think we can improve. We can go and get someone world class. We can go and get Jude Bellingham, for example, which obviously, yeah, fair enough, we might not be able to afford the transfer fee and wages. But clearly, yes, he's a better player than Granit Xhaka. But when Xhaka's playing like this, I mean, why would you want to get rid of him? He's brilliant, absolutely brilliant today. And Martin Odegaard, let's speak about our captain, fantastic. Remember when we were having the conversation about who should the captain be, over a year ago now? No one has that chat anymore. Martin Odegaard is brilliant as a captain, and I was really glad to see his performance today and how well he took his goals. Because you know what? Last few games, him and Thomas Partey are sort of the players that you look for to guide you through the latter part of the season. They haven't really been at it. And today, Martin Odegaard was absolutely brilliant. The goals, the way he took the goals, absolutely sensational. Carbon copies of each other. I absolutely love it. In my 5 at 5 tomorrow, I'm going to cover what we did tactically for Granit Xhaka to get in those positions. And Martin Odegaard, honestly, he was paying attention. during that team briefing because he picked up the right position every single time. You know what? He took advantage of statues today because we've got some lovely statues around this ground. We've got Thierry Henry, we've got Dennis Bergkamp, we've got Herbert Chapman, and we had a statue of Thiago Silva in the first half in our attacking penalty area. Honestly, his wife is going to have to do another statement excusing his performances because that was awful from Thiago Silva, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Standing there doing nothing. Ødegaard absolutely took advantage. Brilliant performances. And now, you know, Arsenal, we find ourselves back on top in the Premier League. And, you know, Man City, you've got West Ham tomorrow away from home. All we can do is hope. Hope, pray, keep our fingers crossed, whatever, that somehow they drop points. And I know, like, listen, I think it's realistic. Right now, I'd put it at like a 2% chance of Arsenal winning the league. And at no point this season have I actually thought Arsenal would win the league because, you know, we had to play Man City twice for so long of this season and, you know, they did what they needed to do. But I'm just going to hope now. I've always said back the boys right to the very end. So I'm going to carry on doing that. I'm not going to stop now. And hopefully, just hopefully, Man City drop some points tomorrow and Arsenal's done what we've needed to do. We've got another really tough game against Newcastle. Hopefully we go and do what we can do there. Ultimately, do you know what would be really, really disappointing for me? Is if Arsenal fall away. If by the end of the season, because look, we're start of May right now, if at the end of the season, if people forget that we were even in the title race because we're like 8 points away from Man City, that would be a really, really disappointing way to sort of go out. So I want to make sure that we take it to the final day. Let's really, really just be in contention. Crazy things can happen under pressure. We've seen that with our own performances. 2 up against Liverpool, 2-2. 2 up against West Ham, 2-2. Southampton, like, this is all down to pressure. I've said it all along. So let's now at least let Man City test themselves under that sort of pressure. I'm sure they'll be fine. They're an elite team and they'll probably deal with it perfectly. But let's just ask the question. Really happy Arsenal did what we needed to do today. Frank Lampard, you're brilliant. Please stay forever. So I think that's 6 defeats in a row since he's come back to Chelsea. Absolutely brilliant. I just love to see it. Anyway, listen, check out my 5 at 5 tomorrow. I want to say thank you to everyone who's watched all season. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant whilst it lasted in terms of thinking that, you know, perhaps we might be able to win a league title. And now, yeah, like I say, obviously it looks very, very unlikely. But listen, keep backing the boys. Keep watching the channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do. So many people watch this and haven't subscribed. Make sure you subscribe because when we go and win the title next season, you'll be there to see it every single week. Anyway, take care. See you for the 5 at 5 tomorrow.